Hey everyone, Alex Bennett here, Director of Athletic Performance at the PGA Tour Performance Center at TBC Sawgrass. I'm going to give you a quick video, 3 moves that I think every rotational athlete should be doing, whether it's a quarterback, kicker, soccer player, tennis player, golfer, baseball player, whatever it is. I know most of you that follow me are obviously golfers, but these are good for people with low back issues, hip issues, whatever it may be. These are things that everyone should be incorporating into their workouts at least a few times a week, or into their warm-ups before they go play their sport. So we're gonna get right into it. We're gonna do a half kneeling chop. The key here is this inside leg is gonna be down. And what I want you to do is we're in that posterior tuck. So we're feeling like if our pelvis is a bucket of water, we're trying to pour that water out of the back of the bucket. We're gonna do that by squeezing this right glute. So I like this chop with a rope. You can definitely use a handle if that's all you got. You can use a band, but we're squeezing that right glute and we're chopping up and across. And what I want you to do is make sure this left knee doesn't just go that way. If you can't keep the left knee still, pick a lighter weight because we want to use that lead adductor. We want to use the core and we want to use that right glute. You might feel a decent stretch in the right hip flexor, but we're really isolating the core while we do this. I don't know why I decide to always talk so much through those, especially the core ones. It's definitely tough. But we're gonna do 3 sets of 8. We're always gonna do both sides. So, as I always say, it's just as important to be able to brace and decelerate the speed you create as a rotational athlete as it is to be able to actually create that speed. If you can create speed and can't safely decelerate, don't have the oblique strength, the glute med strength to slow it down and stabilize it, you're just gonna end up getting injured and you're gonna end up losing speed just because you keep getting injured. But the key here, we're doing a lot of anti-rotation stuff. We're in that little bit of a posterior tuck. We're not way underneath where we're rounded, but we're in a neutral state. I want you to have an arch back. We're a little bit tucked. We're gonna come out. Narrow stance. I don't want to see you like this and trying to do a bunch of weight. We're gonna go narrow stance so that you feel this outside of this right glute. And we're just going up to the chest and then down, little pause, down. This is a really sneaky, tough move. And we're trying to keep the hips square. I don't want the hips to be turning. We want to keep those obliques tight and that right glute. And I always tell my guys, don't pick so much weight that you can't keep these elbows in. If you're going like this, you got too much weight. You want to isolate the obliques. And like I said, isolate that trail side glute. Keep that big toe down. Whew. Definitely a sneaky, tough move. It's one of those moves, if you're in a public gym, people are going to look at you like, what the hell are you doing? But trust me, it's worth it, especially if you're an athlete. The more you're able to brace and load for that speed, the more speed you're gonna be able to create, but also the healthier you're gonna stay. 3 sets, 8 reps. So now we're adding in a curtsy lunge with a row. This is a great way to build that communication pattern between this right glute, that instep on the right foot, being able to drive laterally with that lead side engaged. So we're just gonna curtsy lunge into it. You're sitting there, not letting the knee roll out, not losing the instep. Drive out and row. You're just trying to sync it up. It's one of the safest, that curtsy lunge is definitely one of the safest ways to build this outside of this glute. Oh, went a little too far there. But that's why you gotta stay focused. You gotta stay engaged in these moves. They're gonna help make you a better athlete. But like I said, it's always great, no matter what sport you play, whatever it is, it's always gonna be beneficial for you to be able to load into this hip and maintain that instep, with this side being able to drive and go through. These moves are not only building muscle, but they're also building communication patterns. That's why they're so important. Same things with those anti-rotation drills we did at the beginning. They're teaching your core to brace, stabilize your low back, have the flexibility to rotate through the core, but have the strength to maintain and stabilize that speed you're trying to create through the rotation. As I always say, leave any questions in the comments. I always do my best to get around to them. Until next time, thanks guys.